There are thousands of abandoned coal mines beneath Pennsylvania. Most are flooded. Some collapsed decades ago. Others were simply sealed and forgotten. But mine number 12 should never have been reopened. According to state records, the mine had been abandoned since 1968 after a cave-in killed 34 miners. No bodies were ever recovered. The official explanation blamed unstable rock. The surviving miners told a different story. They claimed the mountain had started breathing. No one believed them. Until now. In October 2026, a demolition crew arrived to permanently seal mine number 12 before a new highway expansion began. Before explosives could be placed, an engineering inspection was required to map the tunnels and confirm they were safe to enter. Leading the survey was 46-year-old mining engineer Thomas Hale, a man who had spent more than 20 years underground. He trusted instruments, geology, and mathematics, not ghost stories. His team consisted of 6 people, each carrying gas detectors, thermal cameras, and laser scanners. The entrance was exactly as the old photographs showed, rusted rails disappearing into darkness, rotten wooden supports, and thick black dust covering everything. The air felt unusually warm. Not dangerously hot. Just alive. Thomas checked the temperature. 78 degrees. Outside it was 43. Underground heat, one worker muttered. Thomas nodded. Let's keep moving. The first 1,000 feet looked normal. Collapsed side passages. Old mining equipment. Broken helmets. Lunch pails left exactly where miners had abandoned them nearly 60 years earlier. Then the wind changed. A warm gust rushed toward them. 5 seconds later, the air reversed direction, flowing back into the darkness. Everyone stopped. Did you feel that? Another rush. Out. Then in. Perfectly rhythmic. Like inhaling. Exhaling. The anemometer spun wildly. There shouldn't be airflow this deep, one engineer whispered. There aren't enough open shafts. Thomas said nothing. He simply looked at the numbers. Every 13 seconds. The wind reversed. Exactly 13 seconds. Again. 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 The entire mine seemed to breathe. No machine could produce airflow that regular. No natural draft behaved like that. Still, they continued deeper. As the breathing grew stronger, something else changed. The walls. Coal seams slowly disappeared. The jagged rock became smooth. Curved. Almost polished. Thomas ran his gloved hand across the surface. It wasn't cold stone. It felt strangely warm. Slightly soft. Almost. Flexible. He jerked his hand away. Anyone else seeing this? No one answered. Everyone was staring at the tunnel walls. They were no longer black. They had become dark gray. Threaded with thousands of thin crimson lines stretching through the stone like veins beneath skin. One worker laughed nervously. That's got to be some kind of mineral. No one believed him. The breathing grew louder. Now they could hear it. Not wind. A deep, wet, drawn-out inhale. The tunnel expanded almost imperceptibly. Dust drifted from the ceiling. Then came the exhale. Warm air blasted through the passage, carrying the faint smell of iron. Blood. One miner stepped closer to examine the strange red veins. They look organic. Thomas shook his head. They can't be. The miner raised his geological hammer. We'll know if we sample it. Before anyone could stop him, he struck the wall. The sound wasn't rock breaking. It was flesh tearing. A long crack split through the tunnel. From inside the stone, thick dark red liquid poured onto the ground. Blood. Fresh. Warm. The breathing stopped. Instantly. Silence swallowed the mine. Every headlamp seemed dimmer, terrified, desperate, clinging to hope that someone on the other end of the line could still save them. Then, on a cold October night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., his headset crackled with a call that should never have existed. The caller ID displayed only one word. Unknown. Daniel answered automatically. 911, what's your emergency? For several seconds, only static filled the line. Then came a man's whisper. Quiet. Panicked. Almost impossible to hear. Please, don't hang up. Daniel leaned closer. Sir, what's your location? A long pause. Then the stranger said something that made Daniel stop writing. I'm calling you from tomorrow. Daniel almost laughed. Instead, he asked, is this some kind of prank? No. The voice trembled. You have exactly 24 hours before everyone starts dying. Daniel glanced around the emergency communications center. Dispatchers answered calls. Police radios crackled. Coffee machines hummed. Everything looked perfectly ordinary. The caller continued. I know you don't believe me. You won't. Not until 8:41 this morning. Daniel frowned. What happens at 8:41? A city bus crashes into the waterfront terminal. 18 injured. 1 dead. The driver's name is Mark Ellison. He suffers a heart attack while driving. Daniel quickly searched traffic reports. Nothing. No accidents. No medical emergencies. Everything was normal. He sighed. Sir, if you're experiencing a mental health crisis. I'm not. I don't have much time. Please listen. Before Daniel could respond, the caller listed 12 events. Each with exact times. Exact locations. Exact victims. Then the line went dead. Daniel saved the recording anyway. Mostly out of curiosity. At exactly 8:41 a.m., the city bus slammed into the ferry terminal. 18 injured. 1 dead. The driver was Mark Ellison. He had suffered a fatal heart attack moments before impact. Daniel's stomach dropped. Throughout the day, every prediction came true. A warehouse explosion. A fatal apartment fire. A missing child found exactly where the caller had described. Even tiny details matched. Every time. Every single one. By late afternoon, Daniel no longer believed it was coincidence. At 4:58 p.m., the phone rang again. The same unknown caller. The same static. The same terrified breathing. I told you. Daniel whispered, who are you? A long silence. Then the answer. I'm you. Daniel's blood ran cold. No. That's impossible. I thought so too. The caller ignored him. You have 6 hours. Daniel looked at the clock. 5:01 p.m. 6 hours until what? The voice became even quieter. As soon as the sun disappears. Something enters Seattle. What? I don't know what it is. I never saw it. I only saw what it leaves behind. Daniel's hands shook. What do I do? Keep everyone indoors. Do not let anyone outside after sunset. No matter what they hear. No matter who knocks. No matter whose voice calls their name. The caller began crying. I made the mistake of looking outside. Daniel shouted into the receiver. What did you see? The answer came in a whisper. They weren't people anymore. The line disconnected. Authorities dismissed Daniel's warning as stress-induced paranoia. Police patrols continued as normal. Restaurants stayed open. Football games continued. Concerts sold out. Seattle entered another ordinary evening. At sunset, traffic cameras captured something impossible. People stopped walking. Stopped driving. Stopped talking. Thousands of strangers slowly stepped into the middle of streets, sidewalks, rooftops, and parking lots. Every one of them turned toward the western horizon. No one spoke. No one blinked. No one remembered walking there. Emergency lines exploded with calls. My husband won't move. My daughter won't answer me. Everyone on my street is just standing there. Officers arrived expecting mass hysteria. Instead, they found entire neighborhoods frozen in silence. Then, exactly at 7:42 p.m., every person facing west smiled. At the exact same moment. No signal. No command. Just thousands of identical smiles appearing across the city in perfect unison. The emergency calls never stopped after that night. They only changed. Now every caller whispered the same sentence before the line went dead. They're asking who answered the phone yesterday. And every night, at exactly 2:17 a.m., the emergency center received another call from tomorrow. Each one a little closer. Each one describing a future that was becoming harder and harder to prevent.